see your screen now.
Yeah, we can see your screen now. Could you please so we can hear you. So good morning, distinguished dear mentors and counts and teachers, dear friends. My name is Sada Sompit. I will present my group to present the promotion of the patterns of silversmith in Chiang Muan, Luang Prabang city. So we're going to present the following topics. Before we go into details of the topic, I would like to speak about the location of the silversmith group, which is located in Chiang Muan village in Bandavong, which is the World Heritage Site. So the building you can see is about the Pathana shop or the silver group. So the background and significance of the silver. So the silver bowl is used in very many ceremony of the Buddhists. No matter it's about the basic ceremony, weddings, or the utensils to receive the offering, do the offering to the monk. So the silver bowls represent the gender. So the silver has been famous because of the delicateness and the patterns, and also reflects the social status of the Lao people from the past up to now. When the society changed, the skillful mancraft played an important role because the patterns produced by silversmith are different, and so that's why we want to show the background of the development of silversmith, because they have long history of 80 years and had been transmitted to 5 generations. So it started from 1910 with Mr. Pathana, who originated this idea. We have very skillful men who had transmitted to the 2nd generation in 1945, which is considered as the best craftsman by the royal palace, and they produced a lot of products to the king. Then he transmitted to the next 3rd generation, Mr. Bandavong, RATTANAKONE, at that time. So they will change the society. That's why he opened the shop. It's about the silversmith shop. Up to 2011, Mr. RATTANAKONE, in charge of administrative affairs, and up to 2015, the shop we handed over to Mr. the 5th generation as is also members of my group. So up to now, the members of this silversmith group, there is only 5 people. There were only 5 members of the group. It's about different patterns of the silversmith, which includes the symbols of the gods, joining hand, naga, royal flowers, the animal. 6 is about different patterns and animal, and the last one is about the 3-headed elephant. So the pictures you can see on the screen is about original patterns that we can see in the temple in Luang Prabang city. So as for the kalakap flower, you can see in the silver bowls in Luang Prabang. Now we know that the silver bowl is a treasure, has been transmitted through generations, from the grandfather to the father and the father to the son. But since the society, the administrative and economic changes, therefore some family and has produced it without documenting the practice. That's why some practice has disappeared. So the objective of the study is based on the risk for this disappearance. If it produces less important to the promotion of the skill, and also the threat, because people now tend to use the boats, industrial boats. That's why the handmade boats has become more expensive. That's why the group has the objective to preserve and to disseminate the art of the silversmith in order to preserve the pattern, the origin patterns, and to promote the young people to see the importance and the value and of the patterns of the silversmith, and also to disseminate in detailed information to external people. So we can do this by documenting and studying the patterns, and to digitalize the document, to easy to and to provide a space on social online to showcase and disseminate the knowledge, and to seek for cooperation from the local authority as an intermediate means to disseminate and to be able to preserve and conserve these traditions. Also to cooperate with the education institutions to organize activities to promote and to encourage the young people to see the importance and to promote this activity. So for the result of the interviews that we conduct with the community will help us to know their needs of the community, which is the documentation of the data, to record the patterns in video, pictures, and to provide this function to education institutions and to distribute to all the libraries across the whole country. So it's about the draft plans of activities that we plan to conduct, with about the following steps, as you can see on the screen. So for the plan of activities for the study, so we have done we study activity from the 18th October up to now. So we spend 3 days to conduct the field work, to conduct the interview with the community. So it's about the timetable for the future activities under this project. So we are going to spend 57 days, and the end of the project will be the period for the project will be 8 months. So in terms of interactions of the different agency, especially for the blacksmith group, we will follow the cultural calendar of the Luang Prabang, because they will stop their activities, especially during the main festival as follow. So it's about the draft budget plan of the project with a total amount of 8,050 USD. So the money that will be used for the project will bring beneficial to the community. The first one, we get the data about the patterns of the silversmith in the book and document. We will provide space in Instagram or Facebook to provide the activities. We also have provided space for the external foreigners to get access to information in English and Lao. We gain interest from the young people, the students, to promote the skillful blacksmith and to promote this activity. And lastly, we will build a network and exchange the views on these professions. Lastly, so it's about the management of the waste for the sustainable development. So we pay attention and see the importance of recycling the ashes, because we plan to recycle the ashes to use for the next activity. And the group of also use part of the reserve fund to reduce the cost for burning, and for the production area there is some ventilation to reduce the pollution. And lastly is about the reference to request for approval, because they are linked, that we can get access to information about the project. So now I would like to thank the UNESCO of Bangkok to provide us the opportunity to learn and to develop and And I also would like to thank the mentors, the teachers for providing really good advice from the beginning to the end. I also would like to thank the World Heritage, the Luang Prabang World Heritage to provide the document to us. So now I would like to end my presentation for now. If you have any question to ask or provide your recommendation, we will be pleased to receive your questions and recommendations. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Very important and in need of urgent safeguarding. We're very proud to have these projects on as well. It's only been transmitting within the families. For this project, now that you mentioned ห้องการมรดกโลก may I invite ท่าน Sang Thong, the Deputy Director from Luang Prabang Heritage Office, and then followed by คุณสิทธิศักดิ์นะคะ and then Kwan would end as the commentators. ท่าน Sang Thong เชิญค่ะ
So once again, good morning. I would like to thank the team for presenting very good, very quite presenting very quite detailed information. It's quite easy to understand. So even though you have the short time for your project, but you have provide quite detailed information. So as you presented, so the silversmith, or especially the pattern of a silversmith, so we need to provide the knowledge and the know-how and the skill. We require a lot of high skills to at the same time the raw material used for forging the silver products also quite a high value. So in terms of selection of the patterns, also are also important, because if types of pattern has provide different information. So I think that most important thing for the project is to in terms of transmitting or studying. So I think that in terms of transmission of the knowledge to those who are going to take over this activity is a main issue, because the first one is linked to the raw material, because it's quite easy. The raw materials become scarce. So the transmission of the knowledge, of course, has some limitation, because I'm from one understood. So that's why they prefer to transmit this knowledge only within the family only. So at the same time, I also agree with your point, the plan that you presented, that how you are going to safeguard and how going to use the information to advocate the community or the young people to be aware of this the benefit of the silversmith activity. So I think that what we need to be added in the project is a process of production, the production process, or how or carving of patterns. We need to document in detail, and how to develop the patterns or the symbol, because you present already. Because if you want to run the project, we want to explain in the details of the production process in more details. What is the detailed process of silversmith production, and of course, we cannot avoid the interest from the NGO or local authority, because. And so we need to interact with the local authority and the NGO. So for the time being, there is some short comment I would like to share. So I would like to congratulate the teams for preparing a very cool details project. So I would like to thank the team, the whole team. I also would like to thank the Luang Prabang World Heritage for giving very good particular attention to this project. May I invite Kun Sitisak again? So I also would like to congratulate the team for presenting clearly what you want to study but I have two issues that I would like to add from my part. The first issue, because you mentioned about the because you are going to collect data about the 5 main patterns, so I agree. But I would like you to add is I would like you to explain the background, the significance of each pattern. Because now we have the patterns, but if you want to sell it, we need to explain what is the significance of if patterns, how it's linked to livelihood, how it reflects the identity. So because we want to showcase the patterns to the external people. So it's about the background of the patterns. The second is about the background of the silversmith, because I agree. So we need to encourage this. And so we need to tell the story about the background of the silversmith. So I don't know whether we have discussed. It's about the pattern again. But personally, I think it's quite a high value. But you said that you are going to disseminate through internet worldwide, and of course, we need to make sure that these patterns we motivate the productions. Please think carefully. If you want to disseminate these patterns, because you said that you get the approval, the consent of, but if this content is widely worldwide disseminated, they can use the patterns to create their own products or the copy, or they might happen. So please think carefully to what extent you are going to disseminate, the scope of dissemination. Is it the general patterns or specific patterns, or if you want ultimately to disseminate this pattern, we need to think of the copyrights, or you want to open to critical comment. So we need to think carefully on this point, because we need to inform in advance that what you are going to disseminate to the external people. But we need to have the measures to protect our copyrights, or the rights. The third point, I think is my personal thinking, because it's about the silversmith shop in Luang Prabang. I think it should be located in the city center, yes. So it's not very far from us. So I think we need to talk about the advantage of the location, and also the advantage of the raw material. So you said that you proposal you mentioned about dissemination of the exchange of black silversmith. So I think we need to provide focus more on the on-site blacksmith, or you may refer to the small festival or events to tell the story, the background story of the blacksmith, silversmith, which is linked to the history of the Luang Prabang. And the way you tell the story, you need to tell the production process. You have to follow step 1, step 2 of the production process, and how you are going to further translate this information for every people to understand the process. For example, step 1, step 2, step 3. I think if you need to find a way how to make the information easier to understand for the common people, non-technical people. I mean, thank you for
issues and comments อยากให้เน้นย้ำนะคะเรื่องของ intellectual properties เนาะอันนี้ที่เราเรียนกัน
please pay attention to the intellectual property, because we discussed this already.
Not least, Mr. Kuan Gadelia, please.
Juan, please, quickly.
You have to turn on your microphone ค่ะ Kwon, you haven't turned on your microphone yet ค่ะ Kwon, we still don't hear you.
Kwon, we cannot hear you.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes. Please start again, please.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry for that. Okay, no, first of all, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very comprehensible. I think that the layout, the way you went through the whole, a bit of the history of this tradition was very interesting. Images, I mean, constructive wise, the presentation was very well organized, so congratulations for that. Congratulations also for your concern to preserve another very important tradition of the Laotian people, the silversmith. I had the opportunity when I went to Luang Prabang to see some of these patterns, and it is very impressive. So congratulations for that. I think you have also a big advantage being located, or well, the shop, the main shop of the silversmith technique in Luang Prabang. I think that already will assure you, or it already assures you, flow of tourists coming in, and that is something that should be profited. I also was doing some Google searching about this shop, and it is well referred in web pages. So I think that this place is also you can take advantage of the place to tell the story of the. I mean, besides being a shop, I don't know if it's also like an interpretation center, because besides people going there and maybe buying things or seeing things, it would be good that it's also a kind of interpretation center. So that is very important. Also about the raw materials, I know it's a big challenge, and especially, I mean, if you're talking about the sustainability of the technique, that will always be something of concern. But I guess that for now, I guess that the objective is to document the technique, and then I guess a second step is trying to figure out how you will solve this challenge about the raw materials. I think that is it. My invitation, of course, always is to interact with the local authorities to see how can you become engaged with the plans that they have, with fairs that they may have, so you can put the information about this technique out there. I also heard you mention about using social media, about using Instagram. Nowadays, that is crucial. Everybody except me has an Instagram account, so that is very important for people to be able to see the history also of the technique. I completely agree with the previous speaker about intellectual property rights. These techniques are kind of like the secrets or the treasures of some communities, and that is also something you have to take into account when disseminating and when telling the people about this technique. Other than that, congratulations. I hope to meet you also in Laos. Good job, and Kop Chai.
Thank you very much, Kwon, and thank you for all the comments that actually complementing each other. Actually, this group has a very special feature because in the group team members, there is a grandson of the practitioner himself who has been learning and from his grandfather. Neramith, you'd like to say hi quickly? Neramith is a grandson and he has been practicing the ICH and the elements himself. Maybe he's shy, so he's not presenting himself.
โดยสวัสดี
So good morning.
น้องครับเป็นเรื่องของคนชุมชนราคาเป็น
I am members of the community and I'm the one who also provided presented this document regarding the questions about the determination of the practice. For myself, I think in the community,
ปัญหาลวดลายการเผยแพร่สามารถ
the determination of the patterns, so we can disseminate the community because my ancestor is silversmith in the royal palace. So in this said now there is nobody who knows the patterns of the silver. What we want to disseminate is to people to know about the patterns. Even though you can copy to further disseminate or to copy they can use. We don't have any copyrights because what we want to do is to maintain this practice of silversmith. Nevertheless, please be careful with the intellectual property.
Okay, next person.
เย็นนี้ในเวลา